Hey everybody, it's Chisa here with a new video. I'm sure many of you already know this if you've been around on my channel for a bit, but my favorite anime for years has been Attack on Titan. This series is straight up fantastic and quite honestly near perfect in many aspects. There are so many fantastic characters who are written beautifully that I absolutely adore, and today we will be discussing one of those characters in particular, Gabi Brown. Now, the minute you mention Gabi's name anywhere in the fandom, you will hear one of two things. Gabi is a horrible person, or Gabi did nothing wrong, with seemingly no in-between. People are very split either way, and it seems that no one can come to an agreement or any sort of middle ground. Now, I will say that if you do not like Gabi, then that's fine. It's your prerogative, and you're allowed to have your own opinion. But I would like to explain in this video as to why I think that the hate towards Gabi is quite frankly unfounded and unwarranted. I've thought about the points I wanted to bring up in this video for a while now, but I also recently saw a Twitter thread that had some of the same points and some extra points I hadn't even thought of that I will be referencing at times throughout this video. The person who created the Twitter thread also helped me with proofreading this script, so thank you to @Jarman on Twitter for helping with this video. I really do appreciate the help. Now let's move on to the points. One thing I find fairly ironic about those who hate Gabi is that the same people also tend to worship Eren and think he is infallible. Why is this ironic, you may be asking? Well, let me explain. Eren and Gabi are very similar characters with very similar backstories and pasts. Think about it. Both of them went through extremely traumatic events when they were young kids, around the age of 10 years old. Eren's hometown was invaded and destroyed by Reiner and Bertolt, and Gabi's hometown was invaded and destroyed by Eren and the Survey Corps. During these major events, both Eren and Gabi witnessed friends, family, and other people they cared about die right in front of them. Eren saw his mom get eaten by a Titan, Gabi watched Zofia get crushed by debris, Udo get trampled by the panicking crowd, and two soldiers who were friendly to her get shot and instantly killed. These events would be extremely traumatic for anyone that witnesses them, much less a child. No one blames Eren for wanting to get revenge, so why do people blame Gabi? Before these horrible events, Eren and Gabi both had goals in mind that ended up being greatly amplified. Eren wanted to go outside the walls and get rid of the Titans so everyone within the walls would finally have freedom. Gabi wanted to bring honor to the Eldian people so that the hatred against them would go away. After they experienced such tragedy, these goals were only amplified. Added on to this is Gabi's desire to inherit the Armored Titan after Reiner. Why does she want the Titan so badly? Well, it's because she's grown up in and lives in a society where everyone sees her and those she's close to as evil devils. Gabi's also been taught this throughout her warrior training. All she's ever known are horribly racist ideologies, and she's never had any of these ideas challenged. She wholeheartedly believes everything she's been taught, and that is why she wants to inherit the Armored Titan. Gabi wants to bring honor to the Eldian people so that those around the world stop hating them and accept them as just average people. She feels that if she doesn't get the Titan power, she won't be able to accomplish her goal. Another similarity between Eren and Gabi is how they had to live with those they considered to be their enemies. Once Eren infiltrated Marley as an Eldian soldier, he had to live among them, and he learned that while they were bad people, there were also many people who were kind and understanding. He learned that not everyone on the other side of the ocean were enemies. Most of them were just normal people like those within the walls. When Gabi got onto Paradise Island with Falco and escaped from where she was being held by the Survey Corps, she was taken in by Sasha's family. She and Falco had to keep their secret about being from Marley from Sasha's family, so they had to sleep, eat, and live with their supposed enemies. This forced Gabi to learn that those within the walls are also just normal people. They're not truly devils at all. Gabi and Eren both had to learn that the ones they perceived to be their enemies were just like them, normal people living normal lives. They are strong parallels to each other, and there's no denying it. The only point where Eren and Gabi differ is when it comes to getting revenge. Even though Eren realized that those on the other side of the walls were normal people, he still went and committed mass murder and genocide against them. He lost himself in his anger in his pursuit for revenge and justice. It's gotten to a point where Eren's closest friends barely even recognize who he is at this point. However, Gabi did not lose herself to her anger. She realized that everything she had ever been taught was wrong and accepted that fact. And now, Gabi is working with the remnants of the Survey Corps and to save the world and everyone she cares about. Gabi was willing to put aside the differences between her and those living on Paradise Island, while Eren was lost in his pursuit for revenge and went on with killing those living across the sea. After this, we can definitely see the similarities between Eren and Gabi. I believe that anyone who denies the similarities between them are just ignoring obvious facts. It is so obvious that they're written to be nearly the same character, but from different backgrounds. I believe to some extent that Isayama wrote Gabi in a way to show what Eren could have become if he hadn't lost himself. And if you're still unconvinced, take this moment from chapter 112. Gabi is explaining to Armin and Mikasa that if they want to kill her, then she's fine with that. She just doesn't want them to kill Falco, as he wasn't responsible for Sasha's death. Armin comments by saying, "That's all you ever talk about, huh? Kill, kill, kill. You remind me of a certain someone." After Armin makes his comment, Eren walks into the room. This makes it clear that Armin is reminded of Eren when he's talking to Gabi. How is this not concrete evidence that Eren and Gabi are parallels of each other? Next, let's look at how Gabi has changed over the course of the time she's been a part of the Attack on Titan story. Another big reason why a lot of people dislike Gabi is because she's viewed to be very egotistical, selfish, and self-centered when she's first introduced, although I disagree with this. But let's look at this a little bit more. Gabi is about 10 to 12 years old. What kid this age doesn't have some sort of superiority complex to some extent? Also, Gabi has been told for a very long time by her friends, family, and those training her to be a warrior that she is fantastic at what she does. In the first episode of Season 4, when the candidates were discussing who the one to inherit the Armored Titan would be, everyone already seemed to have accepted that Gabi would be the one to get that power. All of this attention and praise would go to anyone's head, especially if they're a young child. Her family has told her that she's the best hope Eldia has to restore their honor, and that's what Gabi's goal is. Gabi is only trying to repair the horrible reputation that the Eldians have. But for the sake of the argument, let's say that at her core, Gabi is a selfish person. Way back in Season 1, at age 15, Jean acted in a very similar way to Gabi. He had a huge ego, and he was very arrogant. And even at the beginning of the fight for Trost, he didn't really take things seriously. He couldn't grasp how horrible and grave the situation really was. It took him watching his comrades die in front of him, and seeing the true horror of the Titans before Jean was finally able to humble himself and become less arrogant. Now, Jean is much more understanding as a character. He's far less pompous than he was when we first met him in Season 1, and I'm, quite frankly, very happy with how far he's come. He's one of my favorite characters now. The same thing happened with Gabi as well. Let's discuss how her character has developed over time. Before Gabi arrived on Paradise Island, she had just gone through a very traumatic event. Like we discussed earlier, Gabi watched Zofia and Udo brutally killed in front of her, and then saw the two guards who were kind to her killed by Sasha's hands. In retaliation, Gabi got onto the Survey Corps airship and retaliated by shooting and killing Sasha herself. She wasn't able to do much to get revenge, but she still did what she could in the moment. And once again, like we discussed earlier, Gabi arrives on Paradise Island with Falco and is taken in by Sasha's family. This is because of Kaya finding them. Kaya learns of their secret of being from Marley and then offers to help them by introducing them to Niccolo, the Marleyan volunteer chef. Before this happens, Kaya and Gabi form a sort of friendship, and Sasha's family shows her nothing but kindness. Gabi is shocked by this, as this is the first time her long-held beliefs are truly challenged. Gabi has always believed that the people on Paradise Island are evil and vicious devils. She was brainwashed into believing this. It's all she's ever known. So when Gabi is shown kindness by those she's considered to be evil devils, she's shocked and doesn't understand why they're so kind to her. This is also greatly amplified when, after learning that Gabi was the one who killed Sasha, the family still decided to spare Gabi's life and continue to show her compassion and kindness. Sasha's father explains to her that this is just what happens in war. Sasha went to a foreign land, shot people, then got shot herself. After this discussion, Mikasa then moves to tend to Gabi's wounds, and Sasha's dad asks her if she was okay. In response, Gabi asks, "Do you really not hate me?" Because she just cannot comprehend why she's being shown kindness by the family of the woman she killed. Gabi is just confused. Once everyone learns that Gabi is the one responsible for shooting and killing Sasha, Kaya is enraged and tries to kill Gabi with a knife. However, she's stopped by Mikasa. Kaya shouts at Gabi saying, "How could you do that to Big Sister? I thought you were my friend." Seeing this makes Gabi feel worse and quite frankly heartbroken because she doesn't understand why she's feeling the way she is. All she's ever been taught is that the people on Paradise Island are evil devils and that they need to be killed. That's the only option. Now she's learning for the first time that killing people on Paradise Island isn't the only answer after all. It's at this point where Gabi's views on the devils of Paradise Island begin to finally change. Like Reiner, Gabi has now lived with these people and has seen how they're just normal people, yet she still struggles with wrapping her head around this fact. Later, when Gabi hears Kaya say, "Why do you even worry about the people who killed my sister? I can't forgive them. I want to kill them." Gabi sees a reflection of herself in Kaya. Kaya and all the people Gabi has met on Paradise are just like her. They're just average people and not devils that she's believed them to be her entire life. She realizes that the war that has been raging is truly unjustified and too many innocent people have died at her hands and the hands of those on Paradise. In this war, Gabi has watched many people she loves and cares for die and sees how much the war has cost everyone for absolutely no reason. When she learns of Eren's intentions to activate the rumbling, Gabi decides that she has to do anything she can if it means saving anyone she cares about. She now has to trust and join forces with the people that she was once brainwashed into hating in order to save the world. Gabi then later ends up saving Kaya from a tάɪtn that was about to eat her. Kaya sees Sasha's bravery and selflessness in Gabi, someone who is willing to sacrifice everything if it means the people that they care about are safe. It is at this point where Gabi is no longer blinded by the hatred that once ruled over her mind. She has accepted the fact that she is a devil in the context of the war, and that blaming one group of people for everything will not solve any problems. Gabi learns that everyone, anyone, regardless of their race and where they came from, can become a devil if they are influenced by the wrong kinds of people and information. Like most people in the Attack on Titan fandom, me and many others, script editor included, did not like Gabi. But over the course of the manga's progression in the last few years, we've been given more information about Gabi and have seen so many situations where she's been able to realize her mistakes and grow from them into a better person. She's tired of fighting at this point and wants to help the Survey Corps save the rest of the world so everyone can live in peace. Sasha's family forgave Gabi. Sasha's closest friends forgave Gabi. It is about time that the people in the fandom forgive her as well. And that should do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at Gabi's character and understand my point of view as to why she does not deserve the hate she gets. I'd also like to once again thank Jarman on Twitter for helping me edit this script and for bringing up very good points that I did not realize when I first wanted to make this video. The Twitter thread she made summarizes this video pretty well, so please check her out, her thread, and give her some love. Thank you so much, Emma. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.